Okay class, your science lesson number 4, respiration in organism. In our previous class, we have finished discussing till here, that is exchange of gases, internal respiration. Today we will start on cellular respiration. In the capillaries, the oxygen enters the red blood cells, RBCs. These cells contain a protein rich in iron called hemoglobin. Underline this. What is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin means cells that contain a protein rich in iron. Okay? Underline till here. The oxygen binds with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. So oxygen, it binds, it combines with hemoglobin and form oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin is carried through the blood to all the cells of the body. In the cells, oxygen is released from oxyhemoglobin. Oxygen is then used to break down food to form energy, carbon dioxide and water. So in this oxyhemoglobin, oxygen is released, okay? And it is released to break down the food so that it form energy and carbon dioxide as well as water in our body. The carbon dioxide generated diffuses into the blood. It generates inside the blood. The blood carries it back to the lungs. So after this, blood carries into the lungs, where it is again diffused into the lungs and thus expelled during exhalation. So after entering into the blood, there it diffused into the lungs, and after in the lungs it expelled during exhalation, means while you breathe out. So the air that you breathe out is the carbon dioxide. Now, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. There are two type of respiration in cellular. Okay, that is aerobic and anaerobic. In some organism, energy is generated without oxygen. So, in some organism, energy is generated and some it is not. Okay, respiration is of two type. One that take place in the presence of oxygen and the other that take place in the absence of oxygen. Underline these two type of respiration. When food is broken down in the presence of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration is a system which oxygen is present. Okay. Carbon dioxide is liberated and water is used. Carbon dioxide liberated means separate, okay? And water is used up for other cellular functions. Food can also be broken down in the absence of oxygen. So, in the absence, when there is no oxygen, food can also be broken down, okay? Which is called anaerobic respiration. So, this takes place in yeast and certain bacteria. Aerobic respiration produce more energy than anaerobic respiration. So this produce more energy, and anaerobic it produce less energy. The muscle cells carry out aerobic respiration. Our muscles, it carry this respiration, okay? But when we exercise vigorously, means when we exercise continuously, the muscle cells work faster. It work more faster and require more energy. So when we do more exercise, we need more energy. To meet this energy demand, the muscle cells switch over to anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration produce lactic acid. Okay, now this activities part you can just go through just to get some ideas, okay? Even this. Now the next page. Respiration in plants. Plants also take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. The underside of leaves of most plants have stomata. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases in plants take place through the stomata. Guard cells on either side of stomata regulate the opening and closing of the stomata. The rate of exchange of gases in plants is much slower than in animals. The energy released during respiration is used by the organism. The rest is lost as heat. So energy that is released during the respirations of the plants, it is used by the organism. Okay, and plants also it take oxygen and it give out carbon dioxide, but those are more different, okay? And plants it absorb the oxygen through leaves, that is called as stomata. The leaf it underside the stomata, okay, and through that the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases in plants, it take place through this stomata and it spread out, okay. So photosynthesis in plants, you can go all these three, all those these are not that important, you can just go through the example and short form, okay. Only this much in this lesson. Now comes to here, this is also activity 3, please go through all this, okay. Yeah, like all other living cells of plants, the root cells also need to breathe to produce energy. So even the root part of the plant also, they breathe and it produce energy. The space between the soil particle trap the air, and this air is utilized by the plant roots. Due to this reason, farmers and gardeners frequently turn around the soil so that fresh air particles can get trapped in the soil. So even under the soil, if the soil gets stuck, then the air will not enter. But when you, especially example farmers, when they frequently turn around, when they dig the soil here and there, turning here and there, the fresh air it enter inside the soil, and through that air the roots absorb the air, okay, and they produce energy, they breathe, okay. Difference between respiration in plants and photosynthesis. These are different type of photosynthesis and respiration that is mentioned. You just go through all this, okay, all this table. Okay, so that's the end of this lesson. Now come to your exercise. You tick the correct option, fill in the blank, true or false. All this will be your homework. Please go through and write it in your notebook. Now exercise D, that is answer the following questions. The first one, explain the process of respiration in human being. The answer. Number 1 answer. The process of respiration in human being is to breathe. B-R-E-A-T-H-E, to breathe in air in our body called inhaling, which means bringing air rich in oxygen into our body and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide from the body called exhalation. Full stop. The next line. This gas exchange in the lungs where oxygen is spread, S-P-R-E-A-D, spread into the blood, and the carbon dioxide diffuses, D-I-F-F-U-S-E-S, diffuses out of the blood. Full stop. Next line. The cellular, C-E-L-L-U-L-A-R, cellular respiration is the process which produces the energy that the cells in the body need. Full stop. This process of respiration is used for breakdown of food in the cells to release energy. Now, question number 4. Number 2 and 3 you don't need to do. You just go through, okay? Number 4. Name the organs involved in the process of respirations in human being. The answer. Organs involved in the process of respiration in human being are, point number 1, the respiratory system network of organs and tissues, T-I-S-S-U-E-S, tissues that help us to breathe, such as lungs and blood vessels. Full stop. Point number 2, it includes in the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. These are nose, mouth, trachea, T-R-A-C-H-E-A, trachea, bronchi, B-R-O-N-C-H-I, and the last one is bronchioles, B-R-O-N-C-H-I-O-L-E-S. Full stop. Okay, now question number 5. What are the factors that affect the breathing rate? The answer. Some of the factors that affect the breathing rate are: number 1, exercise or physical activities such as running, jogging, or playing. Point number 2, breathing while sleeping, sitting or even climbing upstairs. Full stop. Number 3, smoking that affect the lungs, comma, this influence the rate of breath. Point number 4, blood pressure. It increase heart rate and cause breathing, etc. There are so many factors, okay, that can affect our breathing, but I just choose 4. So if you have any idea, you can add more, okay. Now number 6, what are the stages of respiration? Explain. The answer, stages of respiration. Number 1, that is aerobic respiration. In this process, it produces more energy. Full stop. The muscle cells carry out aerobic respiration, comma, it work faster and require require more energy, which is generated with oxygen. Full stop. This respiration take place in the presence of oxygen. So you can write the example like glucose plus oxygen to carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. You just write all this form, okay? Point number 2, anaerobic respiration. In this process, carbon dioxide is free and water is used up for the cellular functions. Full stop. Next line. It takes place in yeast and certain bacteria. The next line. It produces lactic acid. This respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. The example, you can write this, glucose to alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. Now question number 8. You don't need to write number 7, okay? Number 8. How is a respiratory system helpful? The answer, respiratory system is the network of organs and tissues that help us to breathe. Full stop. It is helpful for our body to absorb oxygen from air so that our organs can work. Full stop. Next line. In this system, oxygen is used for breakdown of food to release energy. Okay, only that much in this notes. Number 9, this will be your homework. Define the following. You can find the answer, everything in the keywords, okay? Very simple and short. And 2 more questions I want to give you homework. Okay, the first question is differentiate between respiration and breathing. You will find in your first page, I guess. So you have to make 2 columns and difference these 2, okay? And number 2, how do plants respire? Explain with the help of a diagram. So here, this number 2 will be this. You have to draw this diagram, okay? Structure of the stomata, respiration in plants, and you can explain with all this. From here, you can write everything till here, okay? This will be your homework. That's all.